Secure the bag, yeah, that's the brand, and we get to the bag.
What's going on, family? It's your man Tasteware here once again with another STB Market Watch. And this is another episode of, and actually, this is episode 6 of the beginner mentorship, right? For those of you who are new, I've been doing a lot more beginner classes just to kind of get a really good foundation for all of my beginners. And honestly, some of my people who think or who may actually be somewhat advanced. It's always good to come back to the basics. And that's what I love most about teaching this stuff, right? This is the stuff I like to do for free, right? When I start getting into my bag, I start getting into my edge, what gives me an edge as a trader. Yeah, I'll tend to hold that for my people who pay for the course. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't put a lot of my edgy stuff, the stuff that makes me like special. When people like, tell you are a special trader, man, you're really good at this. That stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I keep it in house because like I always tell everyone, right? I always say this, no different than your favorite restaurant, your favorite, whatever it is, your favorite clothing store, your favorite indicators, whatever it is, when too many people find out about it, it ends up not being as quality or work as good as it used to, right? I don't think any of us like too many people finding out about something that works for us, right? I'll be honest with you. I mean, down to your spouse. You don't want too many people to know about your spouse, right? Like that's just how it works. You don't want too many people to know about your favorite restaurant because if it's so good and you like it, then a bunch of other people go there and then they start, eating there and for it's too busy, it's too crowded, the food is not as good because the chef is always rushing trying to make a lot of food for a bunch more people. The wait, like I said, the wait times suck, like the drinks, it's just part of it, right? And it's no different, and this is just from my experience being a trader over a decade. From my experience, I noticed that when trading got really cool and people started teaching certain indicators, I noticed those indicators stopped working. They don't work as well. For example, the RSI. Any traders that have been trading for a while that are here, just refer back to the RSI. There used to be one point in time that when the RSI went overbought, you don't buy it, right? Because it's probably going to pull back. Right now, the RSI can go overbought and it will stay overbought, and the stock will just keep moving up. And we'll go over that today. All right. But I want to talk mostly about your bear flags. Bear flag, bear flag, bear flag. All right. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to take more time um, with just the particular indicator or the particular topic. Instead of trying to squeeze a bunch of topics into one, I want to try to do better with just teaching one indicator or one topic. So today is going to be bear flag. And then we'll go into engulfing candles later. I've already done bullish, but we'll go over engulfing a little bit more later. Okay. Because I want to show and back test each one of these live with you all, or not live, but in real time right here with you all. So a bear flag is what we tend to see basically when you have a downward action in price, right? And then you get a somewhat of a bounce or maybe even just a consolidation and then a continued move down tends to play out after that, right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to, of course, we always check out we chart the ES. So we're going to chart the ES. We're going to do that. But in addition to that, I'm going to look through some of our biggest stocks. And what we're going to do is, since I want to go so deep into this one thing that we're studying, the topic, I'm going to take you to different time frames and kind of show you what it looks like. What looks like a bear flag, right? When is a bear flag invalidated? Like there's some things that we can go into it. Okay. So let's talk about it. Let's dive deep into it. Let's go into our charts and we'll go from there. All right. So I'm going to take you over to the charts and let's have some fun with it. All right. All right. So diving into charts, we see a few bear flags playing out now. And we probably want to go into a deeper time frame or a bigger time frame just so it looks a little bit more pronounced. There we go. Right. Now, see, this is a really good one because a lot of people would ask me, Tay, when does a bear flag um, get invalidated? Right. And honestly, I don't invalidate a bear flag until we go a 1.0 move of the full move down. So let's say this was a full move down, right? Boom. 1.0 would be right here, right? Because as you see, this thing came up close to 1.0 and it still played out its bear flags. And this is just one example. So watch this, right? This is what a bear flag looks like. So flag down, right? Flag pole down. You're going to have your actual flag here and here, right? And look at that. Pole down. Look, it looks like an upside down flag. Now, I'll be honest with you, that flag is that like the flag is probably just as long, if not longer than the pole itself. But this is still nonetheless a bear flag. Move down, major consolidating move up, and boom, took us right out of there, right? So this is definitely something that plays out over and over and over again in the market. And as a matter of fact, I mean, look at that. It does it here. So let's continue, right? And I'm just giving you some ES action, right? This is what happened today inside of the ES, right? Look at that flag. I'm just drawing really fast, so just bear with me, right? But there's your flag. Boom. Fail, bear flag, down, continued down, right? Continued down. So this is how these bear flags work, okay? And the beauty about them is, look at this. The beauty about this move right here is that it shows continuation. Boom, flag up, boom. Now, what you'll notice is when a lot of times when you notice, or what notice that you can maybe put in your mind is, or I want to say notice, but notification. One notification that you can put in your mind is when a new higher um, or the most recent high can be taken out. When you take out your most recent high, that is a shift in what we call market structure. When you make a shift in market structure, so for example, this right here, this gave you a shift in market structure, right? And you see, look, this was your flag, which also held resistance. And look, resistance, 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 resistance. You got above resistance, held support, boom, took off. Where did you take off to? Let's go to your next flag, right? You go to your next flag and same thing. Look at that. Let me make this green just so we can keep it on par, right? So look at that, same thing. And look, came here, it actually gapped above it just to let you know it's real, held support. And then look at this. Boom, came back down, resistance, resistance, resistance. And what happened? We failed, right? We failed. So this here, I mean, literally, it doesn't get much better than this. I really like stuff like this, to be honest with you. This is something that I absolutely love. Looking at like support, resistance. I'm telling you, when people say, "Oh, you look at lagging indicators and things like this, yada 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 yada," my favorite thing to come back at is I say, "Listen, I look at price action, and then I look at what I may call, what some people may call zones or respected zones of price action, because it's not lagging. This doesn't lag. This just waits. I wish you could see me. I'm just telling you to come here, right? And this just waits for you to come here. It's just like, hey, bring your butt over here. Hey, come here, come here, come here. And literally, look at that. Boom, support. And it just blasts off right to that area. And literally, we don't have any EMAs on this. I didn't draw any, diagonal trend lines. There are no, literally, there's just my horizontal, or excuse me, there are literally just these diagonals, or these parallel, excuse me, these parallel lines that you see here. That's what I wanted to say. Um, these perfect parallel support and resistance lines. We're holding resistance now, which tells me, hey, look at this. What could we be getting? What can we be getting? Look at this. This looks like a potential, potential bear flag. Fall down, move up. I'm looking for a move out of this. If I can get an open and a close here, or I just need an open, really. If I get an open and some respect to this line, we're gonna move down. And where am I going to expect us to move? Probably back down to somewhere in this area. That is the beauty of what we do. That is the beauty. Let me say that again. That is the beauty of what we do. I can't make this stuff up, y'all. I can't make it up. So for me, somebody say, well, should I be buying this? No, why would you buy? That is resistance. This is a bear flag. That's two things telling us not to buy right now. Now, if you get right back above here and you hold that area, fine, baby, fine. Grab you some support as long as it's holding support and showing you that it's support, and then take it on home. Where is going to be home, Tay? Home looks like resistance. That's what that looks like. So when we get back above this line, I like a move back up to 42.43. Good God, that's going to be a nice move. If we can break through that, then of course, we're going to be looking for some more support. And that's when you look back test, back test, back test, right? You look back, you have to look left. That is the name of the game. Look left, baby, look left. So this is how this thing works. Do you see how easy I'm breaking this thing down? And I know some hating ass idiot out there is going to tell me how easy it is to do this when the market's not moving. Well, first of all, the market is open right now and the market is actually moving. So, for any smart asses out there, this once again is still a bear flag. Once again, this still is resistance. And once again, this live price action that's moving right now, look, it's got 54 minutes left to close this candle, right? I will be looking to see if it wants to close above this line or below this line. So this is a live chart. This is a live, I love when people they make excuses for everything. That's what it is. But anyway, these are bear flags, okay? So this is what I'm seeing, family. And once again, I always tell you all there's rules to this thing. So I always tell you, hey, this is what can happen. This is what can happen. I like a move up to here. I like a move down to here. But once again, if we don't hold certain areas, then guess what? Then we go the other direction, holding the previous, or excuse me, holding previous support as resistance, and then finding some new support, which of course we have that right here. So for me, once again, we can definitely track our paths by way of doing this here. We can do something like this: boom, 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 here, up. So there are plenty of ways of doing this. Okay, that would probably be kind of like a move down to here, here. That looks like A, B, C down to me. So that's definitely what I'm seeing. No pun intended, but yeah, I'm expecting this line to get hit next if we hold this. Once again, there's rules to this thing. So I can tell you all day I want it to come down here, but if this resistance doesn't hold, this green line resistance doesn't hold, what'll happen is we'll come above it, hold it as support, run for this, see if it holds. If it doesn't hold, maybe we'll come above, hit here, and then we'll look to take out the next area above, which I told you I'm looking for 4,300, but we got to play out all of this first. Okay. So with that being said, let's look at some of maybe some longer term trends. Let's look at the week chart. And I want to go macro. Let's look at some long term trends and see if we can find some bear flags on some long term trends. And let's see if they play out or if they get knocked out. I like this one here. Boom. There's a bear flag there. Boom. All right. So it falls and then it moves. It either moves up or it kind of consolidates sideways, right? So this one fell, moved up, and then continued down another. Let's see, it fell here 38.10. It went as low as 36.40. So that was another almost 200 points. So it bounced, gave you a nice bounce. Remember, V's in the U's, baby boy. Baby boy TJ, for those of you who don't know, baby boy TJ always finds me V's and U's. All right. That's one of our learning lessons. I say, baby boy, find daddy the V's. That is a V. Why is that important? Because price fell and then it quickly bounced. That means there were buyers right there. Whenever buyers are present, as soon as you close beneath them, they turn into sellers. So boom, buyers here, got beneath, sellers. Bam, fell, came back up. Look at that. Seller step right back in, gave you your bear flag like clockwork. Good God, look at that. That is beautiful, isn't it? That is beautiful. All right. So once again, let's continue. This definitely looks like a bear flag, but what we see happen here is look at this. This thing ran a little too high, right? And we eventually came back to that 1.0. And actually, no, technically the 1.0 is here. So technically, It is not 1.0 yet. Here would be your 1.0 point, and we have yet to make it up here. So technically, technically speaking, this actually could be a bear flag that we are looking at. I know people don't want to believe that because we're actively right now playing out a this is an active head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? And it looks like we've already broken the neckline. So, I mean, technically, um, technically, it wants to be bullish, but once again, this is technically still a bear flag. So at any given time, we can get a drop out of here. Resistance can be held, and this thing can fall. Where will we fall? We will probably go and test this 35.17. Um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So this is looking, I don't know, looking dangerous. Looking dangerous. But what I'd like to see, and honestly, good God, I don't know, y'all. This looks very bearish to me. Um, Damn, I didn't see this. So look, this if this was bullish, this should be doing this. It should be going back to this line and then maybe not coming to this line and going like this. Anytime I see it sticking to a line, that's telling me that it's bullish. It doesn't even want to go to the opposite line. It's trying to get bullish and it's trying to get to the opposite side or the other side of the line, right? Well, what do you see happening and playing out right now? Right now, what do you see playing out? It's just doing this, right? It's not even going to the other line that it's been respecting since what is this? September 22, right? September 2022. Look at that. This is a line that it wants to bounce between support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. But guess what? It has not reached this next resistance line since, look at that, February 2023. So, what this is telling me is that buyers, honestly, they look weak to the point that they don't want to really get this up to this line. And sellers look strong right in here. This line here is strong sellers. So what that is giving me is this looks like a rising wedge because you have this line here and you have this moving up line or this line that's moving up as support. I am expecting, if I had to tell you anything over a long period of time, maybe the next few months, I'm expecting this right here. Boom, resistance, bing. That's what I'm expecting. You can call me crazy. I know Nvidia's running, Apple's running, Amazon's running, Google's running, Netflix is running. I get it. But look at this. Can you really ignore that? This is a bear flag. Look at that. And once again, once it gets up to that 1.0 and takes that out, look, I'll shut my mouth and I say, hey, I'm riding with the Bulls now. All right, y'all win. Right. But until then, this looks pretty weak to me. Now, what I can do is I can also take you and say, okay, well, if this is the ES or the S&P 500 that's looking bearish, what has to happen is we got to have a bunch of stocks to fall, right? A bunch of stocks got to fall if that's what we're really looking at. A bunch of stocks must fall. And what I mean by that is we want to look at some of the biggest stocks that the ES or the S&P 500 have in it. Well, what's some of the biggest stocks? Let's go over it. Well, we have, of course, Netflix. All right. We got Netflix. We got, oh, excuse me, we got Meta. My bad. We got Meta, right? Oh my God. Would you look at that? What does this look like, boys and girls? Poll, flag. What is this? Uh-oh. What is this? Come on, y'all. What is this? Come on. Come on, talk to me. What is this? This looks like a bear flag to me. This looks like a bear flag to me, right? So far, we have retraced this thing above 50%. Yeah, so it's above 50%. We're pretty much sitting at about that 61%, but that looks like a bear flag to me. And what I tell you, what did I tell you? We've seen it play out. Until it gets above 382, it's not invalidated yet. So I think this thing at any given day can fall out the sky. All right, now where would I be expecting this thing to fall out of the sky and maybe land? Like where can we expect it to land? Well, baby boy, find daddy some V's and some U's. Okay, look at this. Price falls, bounces. That looks like a nice V. That looks like resistance to me. Baby boy, find me another V in the U. We have one here and one here. Price falls, price bounces. Boom. Very good, baby boy. Look at that. Support, support, support. Got below. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Look at that. Got back above it. Support. So if we fall out of here, what this could do is we could see a bounce, fall below, resistance, bing. That's what I'm looking at. Price target for Meta is 163. That's what I could be seeing there. I mean, we can have a few more. I'll be honest with you. There's a few areas that could buy up before then. Here's a quick move up, quick move down. So that's another V, right? That's another V. And you see, that's why I bounced it from here, right? So support, support. Look at that resistance, resistance. So yeah, resistance. It's something that holds. So this is a nice area too to watch out for. So first price target will be 210. And if we can get through 210, then I'd be looking for 156. That is my price target on Meta. That looks good. That looks really good. So here we go. Here's one of the examples that we can go over and say, okay, this bear flag, it did not play out. And this is going to happen, boys and girls. Look, let me tell you something. Right here, up until about this point here, you would have just thought that that was a bear flag, right? And that's fair. That's totally fair. But we had some very strong earnings, and this thing took us all the way up, right? This is a part of the game. This is why one of my mentors, the late great Larry Williams, he always taught us that listen, you don't play too heavy in any position. You never go too heavy, right? You never go too heavy. You play with something that if you lose, you still can wake up and play another day, right? So if I got $10,000 and I only go into two plays with $1,000 each, guess what? If I lose both plays, guess what? I still got $8,000 left over to live to see another day. All right. So this is one of those things, once again, that we can do and we can watch. So NVIDIA, it definitely got above our 1.0, and now this thing is bullish, right? So now we're going to actually look for a pullback, right? And I think this pullback may hold somewhere in here. Why? Because that's a V, strong move up, strong move down. So yes, I would be expecting that 331 to hold. And then once we hold that, it should take off from there. If we want to continue, we're at all-time highs, and I think all-time highs on a stock like this is just going to get ridiculous. So I do think we can continue. We can see more room to run here. All right. Let's continue. What else? Let's see what else. Oh my gosh, look at that. Netflix. So Meta and Netflix look very similar, don't they? Look at that. Boom, bear flag, bear flag. Good God. That's beautiful. This is a textbook bear flag, right? Textbook bear flag. Where can we come back to? I mean, we can come back down and see if we wanted to hold this area. But there's a few other V's that we can look at. Fall, move up, boom, there's a V. And look at that. This has been held since 2018. Matter of fact, even before that, support, 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 fail, support, fail, support. This is beautiful. Came up, look, resistance, resistance, got above it, support, support. This line is beautiful. So that's one great area we can see, potentially see. There's another move up, then a sharp move down right here. We can see potential. Look at that, holding resistance. That's a very great line. I like that. It's holding resistance. We'll see if it holds. I don't know if it's going to hold, but that's a very great line. Resistance, 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 resistance. All of these are resisting this line. Resistance, resistance, got above, support, 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 fell below, resistance, resistance. Look at this. These are we call those front running, but that's being resisted. It looks good. I like these few lines. So it will take time for these moves to happen. This is a monthly chart, but ultimately, if we can resist this and get a fall out of this line, I'd like to see something like this happen. Boom, get below it, hold resistance, and then maybe either come here and wiggle around, or we just take a sharp move down and see if we can get back to 162, right? If we blow through 162, then we have to look left to see what else wants to hold, right? My next area will probably be 112. No, what is that? 126. We got some stuff right in here at $87. I know people are going to think I'm crazy, but these are levels. These are just levels that I'm looking at that can hold. So between these few levels right here, that's what I'd be looking for. So yeah, 164, 124, and $89. I do think we can get down there. As a matter of fact, I think it's almost, I can't say guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. But as far as I'm concerned, there is a few areas that I'd like to see play out. I'd like to see a move back down into this area. I know that's fucking nuts. I know it. I know it. I know it. But our next crazy bear market, and this could take 5 years, but our very next crazy bear market, I am expecting to move down to $29 as low as 18. This is what I'm expecting. Call me crazy if you like, but I do want to see this area revisited. um, it's going to take some time. It's going to take something. I mean, a catastrophe for us to get down there. But I'd like to see something like that. This is just me looking out, checking it out. Once again, that's a bear flag, right? So, you just have to keep it in mind. Do you go, crazy and just only be short? No, because you have plenty of opportunity in here, right? This is why, I have a strategy where we hedge. So we can go short, and while we're waiting on our shorts to play out, we can also be making money going up. And then if it decides to fall real quick, we make money going down too because we saw it coming, because we saw this big ass bear flag, right? So this is just how it works. So Meta has a bear flag, Netflix has a bear flag. Excuse me. What's some other big companies inside the S&P 500? Let's look at maybe Google, Amazon, Microsoft. Let's see. Yeah, Microsoft. I mean, it's getting pretty close to that 1.0. So I wouldn't short Microsoft. It's Microsoft, right? You got to be careful with that. Tesla. Tesla's looking the bear flag. Look at that. Bear flag, bear flag, bear flag. And actually, this is giving us one of those like flat, kind of like flat trends, right? So this looks like a bear flag to me, right? And it's consolidating into this price action. This looks like rising wedge. Now it could continue to go higher, but I'd like to see maybe a potential move down and out of there. We'll see. I could be crazy, but maybe not. But this definitely looks like a bear flag to me from here up and even as high as here. If we break this thing down in segments, look at this fall bear flag. Uh-oh, hold on. Let's see. My internet's probably tripping over here. That's what that is. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna raise that just a little bit. Boom. But look at this. Fall. So fall, 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 fall. Bing. Bear flag. Look at that. Came down. Open below. Didn't even give you resistance. It just opened below and fell. Whew. Look at that. So yes, this was a bear flag down. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you can really see this, but look, bear flag down here popped up, gave you a nice flag, but it was just one candle on the weekly chart that may show a little better. But fail, move up, fail again. That's another pole. Flagged up, move down again. Pole, so it's your flag pole, move up, could be another move down on the horizon. I don't know, boys and girls. All right. Once again, look at this support, 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 support. It is beneath. We got resistance, 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 resistance playing out like crazy. Let's see if this thing plays out. I don't know. Where would we be looking to fall next? We got a sharp fall, sharp move up, boom, somewhere in here as support. My next support level, 119. Good God, that's $100 fall. That's beautiful, or close to $100 fall. That would be nice. I'd like that. Um, especially if I can get in and capture it, right? Um, Other than that, I mean, this thing doesn't have anything to catch it. So, I mean, move up, sharp move down here. I mean, somewhere in here, maybe. So, $48 on Tesla. Oh, God. If this thing falls underneath this, yes, you're going to see a bloody move to $48, $50, maybe as high as 66, if it can hold this. But bear flagging on Tesla, right? Bear flagging on Tesla. This is another one. That it looks, I don't know, boys and girls. Bear flag on Apple, but once again, we're coming into that 1%, excuse me, that 1.0 area. So I'd be careful. Once again, the only other stock that I would not really want to short much outside of Microsoft is Apple. I'll be honest. I wouldn't touch it. Square, look at that. Looks like a bear flag to me. Let's see. Lululemon, Bear Flag. Good God. Are we just, I mean, sheesh. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon. Oh my God. Amazon, Bear Flag, right? And look at the movement. Look at the movement. All right. I want to go into the weekly chart on this. I just want to make this an example. I'll make an example out of this one. All right. Weekly chart. Check me out. Bear flag down. There's your pole. Boom. Let's see. This one gave you a pretty tough. This was tough movement here. Because it took so long to play out. Good God, look at that. It took so long to play out. Um, Look at this. And then it faked you out. It got above your flag. Resistance held support, came right back in, held resistance, and then fell out of there. Right. Look at this. Pole move down, flag up just a little bit, pole move down. And now we're flagging up again. So I don't know. I don't know, but we are, to be honest with you, we are taking out this. This would be, I'd like to, or I like this because it did just come up and take out this, the most recent high. So that is a very bullish sign. It's a very bullish sign when you start showing market structure shifting. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. So that being said, we could be showing reversal on this one. Could be. Big move up, slight move down. Baby boy, find me the V's and the U's. Look at that resistance, 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 support, 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 resistance, 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 resistance. Came up, resistance, and now it's trying to hold this area right here as support. So I like that line. That definitely looks like an area of respect or that's being respected. So we'd wait and see what this thing does and how it wants to play out. Um, let's see. So honestly, I've gone through some pretty big stuff that represents the S&P 500. I like most of these things, for long term, but a lot of this stuff is bear flagging, right? We got to see Alibaba. I'm just going over stuff now, but we got to see Alibaba just kind of fall out of the sky, and it didn't even give us much of a bear flag. This thing just fell, like it just fell. That was one of those very tough moves to try to catch on the way down. Um, you can see Bitcoin here. Look at that. I'm telling y'all, this stuff plays out. I'm telling you, if you just keep this stuff simple, it plays out, y'all. Look at that. Boom. Watch me work. Watch me work. People thought I was crazy when I told them we were going back to 20,000. Good God, they thought I was crazy. Look at this. Support in that area. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Got underneath. Resistance, resistance. Got back above. Support. Goodness gracious. I'm just telling y'all. I mean, I don't make this stuff up. Look at this. We got some resistance in this area. It was support, 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 support. Got underneath, and now look at that resistance, resistance. So now what I'm expecting us to do is bounce in between this range and this range. All right. So you're just going to see Bitcoin kind of do this 19,000 to about 30,000 until we can either break above and get to another level or until we can break below and take us to $10,000 where I see us going. All right. So this is what I see going on for the day. This is my breakdown using bear flags and bear flags only, right? I did a little support and resistance here and there, but we literally just broke down multiple stocks and majority of the market on macro, on macro charts, the weekly and the monthly. And we literally just broke down charts using bear flags and some resistance and support lines. That is it. And it literally could have told us exactly where to go, where it was going, and why it was going there. This is how the game works. I hope this makes sense. I hope this was helpful to you. If it was helpful, please give me a like, comment, subscribe, and share my shit. I like to do this because I like helping people. I'll be honest, right? I could just sit at home and just kind of trade myself, and just enjoy family. But like I said, what fun is that if you can't help other people make money? And to be honest with you, people don't let me rest. If I did go away and just, trade it quietly in my own comfort of my, home, people would hit me up. I mean, they still do. They hit me up now and they say, Tay, please, you got to get back to teaching. When I first retired, this is one of the first things people hit me up. Tay, please come back. Tay, you got to start teaching again. What do you want? I don't care what you make STB, the price of the STB, but you got to teach, Tay. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. You're too good at teaching, right? It's not even that. And don't get me wrong, I'm a really good trader, but it's not even the thing about being one of the best traders, right? It's the teacher aspect of it. And that's what people love about me because I'm a really good teacher, right? And I say this because some of our most brilliant minds in trading, and I want you all to remember this, some of our most brilliant minds in trading and what a lot of you all are using as their indicators, some of the most brilliant minds, they weren't the best profitable traders, believe it or not. Check out WD Gann. WD Gann, he made decent money, but he wasn't the richest. He wasn't the most profitable. WD Gann, however, made probably 90%, I'd say 80% of the indicators, Fibonacci, not Fibonacci, but like pretty much a lot of the stuff that's Fibonacci. Let's go in here, right? A lot of this stuff belongs to Gann. Look at that. Gann box, Gann square fix, Gann square, Gann fan. Half of this shit that y'all are using that y'all think works or that y'all know works, because a lot of this stuff works. A lot of this stuff is by WD Gann, but he was not the most profitable trader. He was a great teacher and he understood right angles and perpendiculars. Right? So same thing, Elliott, the Elliott wave that was created by Mr. Elliott, right? Once again, he wasn't the most profitable trader, but we use a lot of the stuff that they created for us, right? They were good at what they did. So once again, Gann, Elliott, Neely, these were some really big dogs of their time. And guess what? They were not the most profitable though. Okay. They were good teachers and they understood patterns and price action for the most part. Right. And they helped us in the future be able to, they gave us tools to be able to use to trade these markets. So just once again, I'm not going to call myself a modern day WD Gann, but what I will say is near, present day, I'm one of those teachers that listen, I'm pretty profitable. I'm not, a billionaire. I'm pretty profitable on my own. I can hold my own in the markets, but I can see these charts way better than most people can, right? And I can teach and break them down better than most. So once again, that's why I teach. That's why I do what I do. And if you want to continue to learn from me, please, please, please show love. I'll continue teaching some of this free, some of these basic strategies for free. I got you. As soon as y'all want me to dig into like, my sauce and bringing out some of my edge, my trading edge, I can't teach that for free because I don't want it to get saturated and stop working. All right. So that being said, once again, I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your night because I'm doing this late at night. It's 8:30 right now in Puerto Rico. So enjoy the rest of your night. If you're watching this in the morning, enjoy your morning. Let's have another successful trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out.
Secure the bag, yeah, that's the brand, and we get to the bag. These